Hello, good evening students. How are you all? Okay, so today we are going to start the new chapter which is statistics, and so Itanagar, Tamenglong, you have joined, right? Okay. So this chapter statistics you have also studied in your 9th class, and basically the statistics is you all have to learn about the data, how we can collect the data, how we can read, and how we can find different values from the data, and some important conclusion we can draw from the data. That is the thing which we are going to do in this chapter. And so in the 9th class, what you have done, in the 9th class, in the statistics, when certain data is given, so you know how to draw the bar graph, you know how to draw the histogram, and you know how to draw the class interval, and you also have learned the method of finding three things in the data, which is known as mean, mode, and median. So these are the three things which you have studied in the 9th class also. Mean basically means we have to find the average of all of the values given. Mode, whenever the data is given, the value which occurs highest number of times, or we can say value whose frequency is the highest, that is known as the mode. Highest frequency number is known as mode. And frequency word you have learned in the 9th class also. It means how many times a particular data occurs. And median is the middle value of the data. So these are the three things which you have studied in the 9th class, but only the basic types of questions were there in the 9th class. And most of the questions were of the discrete data. Discrete data, there are two types of data. Discrete and in class interval. Discrete data means basically, like suppose if I say if you are measuring the height of different students in a class. So if I say the height 5 feet 4 inches, exactly I am talking about 5 feet 4 inches, 5 feet 3 inches, or 4 feet 11 inches, and I am saying that in 5 feet 4 inches there are 5 students, here there are 8 students, here there are 9 students, in this way. So what we are doing, we are finding the exact values, the discrete values we are going, that how many students are there of this height and that height and that height. But in case of class interval, we give a range like from 4.5, like say 4 feet 5 inches to 4 feet 11 inches. So how many students lie in this group? So this is known as the class interval type of data. So in this chapter, we are going to learn how we can find the mean, mode, and median when the class interval is given, when the data is given in the form of class interval. Similarly, we will also learn how to find the mean by three different methods. When in the discrete data itself, we will learn how to find the mean by three different methods when the data is extremely large or it is not possible to do the calculations very fast. So in that, to make the calculation simple, we will use that different methods of calculating mean. So let us start with the mean. Okay. So basically, if we have, suppose if we have values x1, x2, x3, x4, these are the discrete value up to xn, and we have to find the mean. So mean is basically the average, and average is nothing but sum of all the observations divided by the number of observations. So it is indicated by x, and a bar is there on the x. This is equal to sum of all the observations. So x1 plus x2 plus x3, and whatever number of observations are given, adding all of them, divided by the number of observations. So number of observations are n. And this representation of x1 plus x2 plus up to xn, this can also be represented like this. We use the symbol sigma, and we can write xi. And now what do we mean by this? I varies from 1 to n divided by n. So the meaning of this thing is, this symbol is a sigma, means the summation, and we have to put different values of I starting from 1 till n, and then we have to add all of them. This is the meaning of this symbol, sigma xi, I varies from 1 to n. That is the meaning. So let us start with the question itself, how we can find the mean. So question number 1. So right now we are doing direct method, how to calculate the mean. So what it will given, the number frequency will also be given. Suppose the question says mean of the following distribution we have to find. Suppose x and frequency, f means the frequency. So 4, 6, 9, 10, 15. Suppose this is the data given, and it only says find the mean of this following data. Nothing is mentioned like by which method we have to calculate. So we can see the values are very small. So we can calculate it by the direct method, or we can assume it, let's say these are the marks. X indicate the marks of the students out of some maximum marks, and frequency indicates the number of students. So like the students who got 4 marks, there are 5 students who got 4 marks, 10 students who got 6 marks, 10 students who got 9 marks, in the same way 8 students who got 15 marks. So we have to find the average of these. So average means again adding all of the values. So since there are 5 students who got 4 marks each, so total number of marks by these 5 students will be 4 into 5. We have to add 4 5 times. So basically 4 into 5. And similarly the marks 6 is obtained by 10 students. It means the total number of marks will be of this 6 will be 6 plus 6 plus 6 up to 10 times. So basically we have to do 6 into 10. So in general the total marks will be given by f into x, or you can say if you multiply the marks with the frequency and then add them up, that will give you this the total marks. So we can make it as fi xi, summation of fi xi, I varies from 1 to n. This is the total divided by the number of students. Number of students means the total frequency. Like there are 5 students who got 4 marks, 10 students who got 6 marks. In the same way, if we add all the frequency, that will give us the total marks. So that is indicated by sigma fi. Right. So now we can multiply it. So how we can do that? In the solution, what we have to do, we have to make a table like this. So the first column, we can write the xi, then fi. So x is 4, 6, 9, 10, 15. Then it is 5, 10, 10, 7, 8. Now in these are the 2 columns which is given. The third column which we can make is the total marks, which is multiplication of xi into fi. So 5 into 4, which is 20, then 60, then 90, then 70, then 15, 8 times 120. Now what we can do? We can add all of them. So we can say sigma fi xi. If we add all of them, 120 plus 70 plus 90 plus 60 plus 20, that would become 360. And summation of all the values, basically how many total students are there, that is 10 plus 10, 20, then 25, 33 and 7, 40. Total students are 40, total marks are 360. So mean is given by sigma fi xi over sigma f, which is 360 over 40, and 360 over 40 is nothing but 9. So average number of marks is 9 in the class. So I hope all of you are getting this method. This is called the direct method of calculating the mean. Just we have calculated the total marks divided by the total number of students. That's it. Now this is the very basic question. Sometimes what the question will be from the exam point of view, they will give you some unknown frequency, like some unknown frequency or some unknown value in the marks, like in place of this 9 they can replace it by some variable, and the mean value is given, and then we have to find the value of the variable. So like, let us try then. Any doubt till now? Itanagar, is this clear? This method, a very basic calculation is there, and don't forget to make while writing in the exam, don't forget to make a table. Like, it should be in a table like this, and make sure you have to draw the table with the help of pencil. It should be in a table like this. Okay. So now try, let me give you one question. Try this one. In this one, you have to find the value of some variable. Let's say, if it is given, the mean of the data is given, and you can see in the following data, the last data is not mentioned, it is given in terms of p plus 5, and rest of the things are completed. And it also says that the mean of the following data is 6. We have to find the value of p. So again, in the same logic, just the mean is given, so you will get a one linear equation in terms of p, solve it and calculate the value of p. Solve it. No, 19 is not the correct answer. Yes, Tamenglong, that answer is right, correct. See, it's a easy one, only a little calculation is there. Maybe Itanagar, you have done some calculation mistake. Like if you write x, f and fx, xi, fi and xi, fi. If you put the value 2, 4, 6, 10, that is p plus 5, and this is 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. So multiplying the values, 2 into 3 is 6, 4 into 2 8, 6, 3 18, 10 into 1 is 10, and this will become 2p plus 10. If we add all the frequency, it is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So sigma fi is nothing but 11. If we add these, that is 10 and 10, 20, 30, 36 and 16, 40, 52. So 2p plus 52. That is your sigma fi xi. Now what we have to do, after getting sigma fi xi and sigma f, we just have to put it in the formula for mean. And we know mean is given by x bar is equal to sigma fi xi over sigma fi. Mean of data is given 6. So 6 is equal to 2p plus 52 over 11. Just it is a linear equation, we have to solve it. Yeah. So 66 is equal to 2p plus 52 and 14 is equal to 2p. So p is equal to 7. So when we solve this equation, we will get the answer as 7. That's it. A very easy one. Okay. Getting it? Now let us learn the new method of finding the mean, the method number 2, which is known as shortcut method, or this is also known as assumed mean method. So it is only used to simplify our calculation, or we will get the mean from this one. So let us start with the question itself. So it will be clear from the question. Suppose the data is given, weight of students are given. So I am already writing the data in the form of column so that we don't have to write it again. So weight in kg is given and the number of students. So weight is given 67, 70, 72, 73, 75 and 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. So it is given that the weight are given like the number of students who is having 67 kg weight is 4, 70 kg 3, 72 kg 2 and so on. So we have to find what is the mean weight. Now if we are going to do it by the assumed mean method, so since we have to find the mean weight, now you can see, although you can solve it by the normal way, but you can see the number weight is a 2-digit number. So multiplying this 67 by 4, then 72 by 2, 75 by 1, we will get again a 2-digit number or maybe 3-digit number. Adding them up may give us a 3-digit or 4-digit depending on the value of the number. So the calculation is going to be very large in that one. So to reduce the calculation, we can take help of this method, which is known as the assumed mean method. In this one, what we have to do, we just have to pick any of the value from this weight as our assumed mean. Now you can pick any value as your choice, any number you can pick, but it will be very helpful if we pick the number out of these given numbers and a number which lies in the middle of these given number. Why we are doing so? Because we have to take the deviation from it. We have to subtract that number from it. Like, let assumed mean is equal to 72. Why I am taking 72? Because you can see, first of all, it will be easy for you if you pick the number out of the given numbers. Second one, it will be more easy in the calculation if you pick the number which is lying between the number. Like lowest number is 67, highest number is 75. So in between 72 or 73 you can also take, that depends on you. So see, when we have taken 72, what we have to do? We have to find the D, which is called the deviation, and Di is given by Xi minus A. So assumed mean, so A we have taken 72. So from all the, this weight is Xi basically and number of students is Fi. So from all the values in the weight, we have to subtract this assumed mean. So always remember, value minus assumed mean we have to do. Like 67 minus 72, when we do 67 minus 72, that will be minus 5. 70 minus 72, minus 2. 72 minus 72, 0. See, why I have taken 72? Because you will see when you will subtract this value, you will get 0. So it will help to solve the question. 73 minus 72, 1. And this is 3. Now one more logic, why we have taken the middle value? So that the deviations, the difference you are taking will be very small. If you take one of the larger number, let's say 100, so taking 100 will not be a good choice because 67 minus 100 will again be a larger number. We have to take such a number so that the difference of that number from all these given values will be as small as possible. And this is only possible when we take one of the number from the given values and which is lying in between the given values, in the center of the given values. So this by this method we have got D. Now what we have to do, again we have to multiply the Fi into Di. So now you can see, instead of multiplying 67 times 4, now we have to multiply 4 times minus 5. This will be easy. So 4 times minus 5, this is minus 20, minus 6, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 and 3. Now we just have to add all the values. So first of all, let us say sigma fi. It is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if we add sigma fi di, so it will be minus 26 and 5. So minus 21 it is. Now we just have to calculate the mean. So the mean value is given by whatever value we are getting over here, sigma fi di over sigma f. Now this is our assumed mean. This is the calculation which we are getting with help of to assume mean. We have to add this number to the assumed mean. Whatever number we have subtracted, whatever we have assumed as our mean, the answer from this question we have to add through that number. So it will be minus 21 over 12 plus 72. So we have to solve this minus 21 over 12. So minus 21 over 12 if we solve, we can calculate by 3 times. 3, 7 and 3, 4 plus 72. So minus 7 by 4, that would be, we can divide it by 4. 4 1 times 4. 1.75 plus 72. So it will be 70.25 kg. So this is our mean, final answer which we are getting. So only thing which you have to take care of is that the whatever you have taken the assumed mean, final answer whatever you are getting, just add it to the assumed mean. So your formula for the mean will be converted to this one. We have added A because we have subtracted all the values from the A. I hope Itanagar, it is not necessary that the assumed mean must be taken from the given xi. You can take any value, whatever you want. Why we take assumed mean from the given xi value? Because you can see in the method, we have to subtract it. Like you can see, we have to subtract assumed mean from all the xi values. If you take one of the value from the xi, one of the subtraction will be 0. And if you are getting 0, your calculation becomes easy. Otherwise, again you have to solve it in the normal way. So you can take any value, but it will be helpful if you take from the given xi. You can practice by taking any other value, you will get the same answer, but you will see that the calculation becomes easy when you take the given xi value as the assumed mean. Getting it? Okay. So now I am giving one more question. Try this question by using this assumed mean method or step deviation method. So wage is given in rupees and number of workers who got this wage. And see, this chapter is a very scoring chapter. All the questions are direct, straightforward questions. So only thing is that you have to take care of the calculation part. If you do the calculation correctly, there is no chance that you will get this question wrong. So these are the values. The wages are given 800, 820, 860, 900, 920, 980 and 1000, and the number of workers are given. So you have to find mean wage. Now see, if nothing is given in the question, then you can solve it by any method, whatever you want. But if it is mentioned, solve it by that method, then you have to solve it. Right now, solve it by assumed mean method. Right? Good evening, Shillong. You are late today? Okay. So try this question. Uh, there is no approx answer. Yeah, the correct answer for this one is, if you solve correct answer for this one is 891.2. There is no approximation over here. You will get the exact answer because the number of workers, if you see, if you add all the frequency. So Itanagar, what you have taken as your assumed mean? And Tamenglong, you also, what you have taken as your assumed mean? $900. Then you should get the correct answer. Okay, let me solve. So let us write over here. Maybe some calculation error you are doing, because if you have, although you can take any value as your assumed mean, you will still get the same answer. See, this is xi, 800, 820, 860, 900, 920, 980 and 1000. Now the frequency, number of workers, 7, 14, 19, 25, 20, 10 and 5. Now we have to do, if I say assumed mean, A is taking 900, right? This is my assumed mean 900. Now what I will do, I will subtract this 900 from all the xi values. So that is noted by D. So Di is xi minus A. So 800 minus 900, which is minus 100, minus 80, then minus 40. 900 minus 900 is 0, then it is 20, then 80, then 100. Right? After this, xi fi into di. So this will become minus 700. 14 into 8 is 112, so minus 1120. 19 into 4 is 76, minus 760. 25 into 0 is 0, then it is 400, then 800, and then 500. These are the values. So if we are going to add all these values, so summation of frequency first of all. So if we add the frequency, that will become 100. Frequency is 100 total, and if you add this FIDI, so see, this 8 and 5 13, and 13 and 4 17, this positive is 1700, and this is 1700, and this will become negative of 80, negative of 2580. So if we add all of them, that will become minus 880. So total is minus 880. Now we just have to find the mean. So mean is given by A plus the whatever is the assumed mean, sigma FIDI over sigma FI. So A is 900. So 900 plus this is minus 880 divided by 100. So that will be exact answer we will get minus 8.8, and when we subtract 8.8 from 900, it will be 891.2. This is the final answer. So what was the mistake, Itanagar and Tamenglong, in the calculation? You got your mistake? Okay, FIDI. Oh, you wrote wrong data. See, data is very important here. I am telling you the questions are very easy, straightforward question. Only thing you have to do one mistake in the entire data in any of the digit, the complete question will be wrong. And there are a lot of calculations, so do it very carefully, right? So otherwise, are you getting the concept? It was the small human error. Otherwise, is there any doubt in the concept? Okay. Now let us do the third method, which is known as the step deviation method. And this method is used again to find the mean, but it will make our calculation more easy. Now what happen is, like this is used in further after the assumed mean method. Like you can see, when we were doing this assumed mean method, after getting this di, which is xi minus a, sometimes these values are also very large. You can still see these are 80, 100, 40, 20. So in order to reduce this value also, we use the step deviation method. What we do over here, we divide all the values by some common number. So in order to reduce our value to very smaller number, so that our calculation become very easy. So let us start with the question itself, so it will be easy for you to understand. So let us do the calculation in this question itself, because no need, we don't have to do, so I will explain you in this question, then you can try one more. So the same question we have to do, find the deviation. So let us remove this thing. This FIDI I am removing. So after this value, till now the concept is same. You wrote xi, fi, we have calculated one of the assumed mean, and then we have subtracted the assumed mean from all the xi values, we are getting this one. So the step deviation will come into picture when this value is still very large. Like you can see 100, 80, 40 are still very large number. So in order to reduce that, How we can reduce that? By dividing all these values by some common number. And so we can pick any of the number as of our choice, but it will be easy if we pick the highest common factor of all these values, so that when we divide these values by that number, the answer is an integer, not in a decimal. So you can see the highest number by which we can divide this is 20 is the HCF. So we will write it like this, UI. So you can say H is equal to 20. H is the number by which we are dividing the DI values. So UI, that is indicated by UI, it is XI minus A divided by H. So minus 100 divided by 20, which is minus 5, minus 4, minus 1, 0, 20 by 20 is 1, 4 and 5. So you can see your numbers becomes very small, a single digit number by dividing. So this was the only new step which we have to introduce. Now again the same logic, we have to again multiply Fi. This time we will multiply Fi with Ui. Earlier we were multiplying by Fi into Di, this time Fi into Ui. So you can see 7 into minus 5, minus 35, 14 into 4, 19 into 1, then 25 into 0, 20 into 1, 10 into 4 and 5 into 5. This is the value we are getting. Now we just have to add these value, sigma Fi Ui. So when we will add this value, so you can see some of the values will get cancelled out. So this 20 and 19, that will become only 1. And if we solve this one, adding these plus values, we will get 85, and adding these negative values, we will get 8. You're saying if H is equal to 20, then after 860 it should be 880. No, Shillong, that is the data given. 860, the data is given. After 860 we have 900. That is not the order of 20. H indicates by which we are dividing. Okay, Taminglong, let me do it again. One mistake I have done over here. Let me create this one. What we have to do, after finding the DI, we have to assume one number which is known as H. We will divide all the values of DI by that H. So when we, so I have assumed 20. You can assume any number, but make sure that number is the HCF of, no, H is not height. H is not height. H is the number. You can assume, you can take any value, name itself. H is the number by which we will use it in the step division, by which we will divide these D values. So I have taken 20 because the HCF of these values is 20. So when we divide, this would be minus 2 itself. This was the mistake. 40 divided by 20 minus 2. So I have divided all the D values by 20. So we are getting this UI values. That was my mistake I was figuring out. Now I just have to multiply Fi into Ui. So when we multiply Fi into Ui, 7 into negative 5 is negative 35, 14 into 4 minus 56, 19 into negative 2, 25 into 0, 20 into 1, 10 into 4 and 5 into 5. So these are the values we are getting. Now what we have to do, we just have to add all of them. So sigma Fi Ui, when we add, this values will become 85 and this values will become 129, minus 129. So this will become minus 44. So if we add all the values, the negative and positive, we will get minus 44. Now, only change that will take place in the formula, why whatever number, like you can see in the earlier case, we have subtracted a, so we have added a. Here we have divided by h, so to restore that one, we have to multiply by h. So the formula will be, mean will be equal to a plus, in the sigma fi ui by sigma f, we have to multiply this by h. Because we have divided by h, so we have to multiply by h, whatever mean we are getting, multiply by h and then add it to the assumed mean. So assumed mean was 900, h was 20, this is minus 44 divided by 100. So minus 44 divided by 100, that will again give you the same thing, minus, because you can see this will be 88 and minus 8.8. So minus 8.8 that will give you, and this will again give us 891.2. That is the final answer. Only thing which is new over here is that we have introduced one of the variable h, by which we are dividing all the deviations, so to get a very simple values. And after, in the end, whatever mean we are getting, we have to multiply by h and then add a to it. Getting this? Any doubt in this one? Step deviation method? Note it down carefully. Itanagar, is this clear? Tamenglong, Itanagar? Yes, no, it is only valid for regular class interval. In the class interval, it will be regular. The difference between all the class interval will be same. To by-check the answer quickly, no, there is no such method to calculate to check the answer, because this is the only way. If you are going to do, you have to do the long method by which xi into fi, but here, if you are going to do xi into fi, this is a very large number. So only way is that you have to take care of the calculation. That's it. Okay, so now I'm giving one more question to you. Try this question by step deviation method. So it will be more clear. all method will give the same answer. Only the difference is that some method will, the deviation method and the step deviation method we are using only to reduce our calculations. That's it. Otherwise you can do it in the normal way. You will get the same answer. So weight is given. This is basically X. And number of workers is given, is basically F. Find the mean. Now try to solve it using step deviation method. The weight X is given, Xi, and this is Fi. 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, and it is 5, 8, 14, 16, 10, 7. Now here you can see the values are very small, so you can directly use the normal method. But if in the question it says use the step deviation, then you have to use the step deviation. So right now solve this by using step deviation method. Find the mean. And sometimes what happens is, using in step deviation, sometimes after getting the D value, you will not get any common factor by which you can divide. So if you think that it is given the step deviation, but you think that it is not feasible to do it, you can take the H value as 1 also. We can divide it by 1 if it is already in the simplest form. You can take 62. I am saying sometimes, let's say I'm just saying, after getting, suppose you are getting D value as 23, 12, 17, 15 and 16. Now by which H value you will divide these to get the simplest answer. So you can see there is no common factor over here. If you take any other number, let's say 2 or 3, or you can take 3 or 4, you will get the decimal. So sometimes it is not mandatory that you have to use it. If you think that values are already small, so you can divide all the values by 1. That will also work. H you can take as 1. That depends on you. That varies from question to question. If you want to divide, you can divide. If you think you can solve it in that way, then you can take H as 1 also. No. H doesn't refer to class interval. You can, in place of H, you can introduce by some other variable. Let's say K, G, F, anything. I think you are getting confused H with the class interval. H is the value by which we are dividing the D in the step deviation. That's it. In the formula for the mean and median and mode, you will see that H refer to the class interval, width of the class interval. So here you can take, in place of H, you can take some other variable. Don't get confused with that one. Oh, very good, CC4. After a long time you have given the response, but the answer is correct. Yes, Shillong, correct answer. So first of all, let us take the A. So I think it would be good if we can take A as 62. So I am taking assumed mean as 62. So I will do DI is equal to XI minus A. It is Itanagar, it is 62.65, not 64. So 60 minus 62 minus 60 minus 62, then 61 minus 62, 0, 1, 2, 3. Right. Now we have to, now you can see that it is already in the very basic form. Like D is minus 2, minus 1, 1, 2, 3. So it is already in the simplest form. So no need to divide it in the step deviation. You can simply, if it is mentioned in the question that do it by step deviation, so you can take H as 1. So you can write UI is equal to XI minus A over 1 by dividing it by 1. So again we will get the same thing, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So Fi into Ui we can do. So Fi into Ui minus 10, 8 into minus 1 is minus 8, 0, 16 and 20 and 21. So if we add all of them, sigma Fi Ui, so that would be, this is minus 18 and 16 minus 2. This is 18 and 21, 39. So we are getting sum is 39. Now the mean would be A plus sigma Fi Ui divided by sigma F into H. So H value is 1 over here, 62 plus 1 times 39 over sigma F. Sigma F, number of workers are 60 over here total. So 62 plus, we can divide by 3. So 62.65. That is the mean. Getting it? Any doubt? Okay. Now we will take a quick break, and after the break we will do the question in which the continuous data is given, or basically in the form of class interval. Okay, we'll meet after the break. Okay, welcome back students. So till now we have done how to find the mean by three methods. When the data is discrete, like direct method, step deviation method, and the assumed mean method, which is also known as shortcut method. Now we will learn how to find the mean by using any of the three methods when the data is given in the form of class interval. So let us start with the question, or let me tell you in class interval what we have. In class interval, data will be given in terms of range. Let's say 5 to 10, 10 to 20. If we have to take the same width, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, and so on. So this is known as the class interval. Here, this 5 is known as lower limit of the class. This 10 is known as upper limit of the class. Similarly, if we want to see, and this is also known as continuous class interval, because you can see the upper limit of this interval is same as the lower limit of the second interval. It is ending on 10, starting with 10, ending on 15, starting with 15, and so on. Second thing, if we want to say, like, if suppose all the values are integers, and if I want to say like the number 10 which we will count in which of the interval. So by convention, we take 10 to be in the second interval. So effectively this interval 5 to 10 counts the numbers only from 5, 6, 7, 8 and up to 9 if we are talking about the integers. So 10 is counted in the lower limit of the next interval. Similarly, if I want to ask 20 will lie in which interval? So 20 will lie in this interval, right? Second thing, there is a term called class mark. So class mark, you know that while doing all the questions of the mean, we want the x value. So x value is called the class mark, and it is given by lower limit, the average of the upper and lower limit of a particular class. So lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. That is known as the class mark. So only new thing which will be introduced over here is class mark. And after finding the class mark, rest of the procedure is same. So let us start with the question itself. So suppose the question says, we have to find the mean. Class interval is given. And number of workers, that is frequency. So now we have to find the mean over here. So you can see the x value is not given. So first thing we have to find the x value, which is known as the class mark. So, or you can say all the mid value also. So xi, that is given by upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2 of a class. So 0 plus 10 divided by 2, it is the average, which is 5. Then 10 plus 20, which is 30 divided by 2, it is 15. Similarly, it will be 25, 35 and 45. So this is the new thing which we have introduced over here. Rest of the work is same. So we can simply calculate the mean. Now you can see the values are little bit large, like 8 into 35, 50 into 25. So we can take the help of deviation. So let us say assumed mean is out of these xi values, we have to take assumed mean. Let us say we take 25. So our di value will be xi minus a. So 5 minus 25 minus 20, 15 minus 25 minus 10, then it will be 0, then 10, then 20. Now if you want to again simplify this one, you can see all the values, d values can be divided by 10. So let us say my h value, or let me introduce it with the new variable. Let me say it is k. So k is 10. So I am dividing all the values xi minus a by k, which is 10. So when I divide minus 20 by 10, it will become minus 2, this will become minus 1, this will become 0, 1 and 2. So now we are getting a very simplest form. Okay. So now the last step is we have to multiply this fi into ui. So 7 into negative 2, negative 14, then negative 10, 15 into 0 is 0, 8 into 1 and 10 into 2. Now add this. So sigma FIUI. When we add this one, so this is 28 and this is minus 24. So 28 minus 24 is only 4. So this is the summation is 4. Now we have to add the workers also, sigma F. Sigma F value is 18 and 15, 33, 40, 50. This is 50. Now we have to find the mean. So mean will be given by x bar a plus k times of whatever is the mean, sigma of fi ui over sigma f. Whatever mean we are getting, multiply by k and then add the a. So it will be 4 divided by 50 is the mean, multiply by k. So k value was 10, so multiply it by 10 and then we have taken a as 25. So it will be 25 plus 4 by 5, which is 25.8. Same procedure we have done, only thing is that the new introduced concept is the finding the x value, which is the class mark. That's it. Is this clear to all of you? Any doubt in this one? Okay, so based on the same concept, try one more question. Find the mean. Now whatever you think that is best for you, do it. Nothing is mentioned by whatever method you want to do. Whatever you think is best for this question, find it. Yes, Sisipur, that's correct answer. Itanagar, that's correct. Shillong, what about you? And Tamenglong? Hmm. So this one also? Yes, Shillong, that's correct. Now see, in this one, class interval is given. One of the frequencies is missing, but it says the mean is 54. So find the P. We can find the Xi. Frequency is given 7P10, 913. Now either you can do it directly or we can take help of any method. Let us say we can take A as we should take 50. If we take A as 50, then it will be di is equal to xi minus A. So 10 minus 50 minus 40 minus 20, that would be 0, 20 and 40. And if you want to divide it, we can divide it also. Let us say k is equal to 20. We can divide this complete value by 20. So if we divide the complete value by 20, we will get ui is equal to xi minus A divided by k. So when we divide by 20, so it will become minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Now we can do fi into ui. So fi into ui is 7 into negative 2, negative 14, negative p, 0, 9 and 26. And then if we add these fi into ui, that would be 26 plus 9 is 35. 35 minus 14 is 21. So 21 minus p we will get. And sigma f, that we will get 39 plus p. So now we can simply get the value of p. So after getting all these values, mean would be equal to A plus k times of sigma fi ui over sigma f. Right? So now we just have to put the values over here. Mean for the data is given 54. A is 50. K is 20. This is 21 minus p over 39 plus p. So this is the linear equation which we have to solve to get the value for p. and we can solve it. Take this 50 on the left hand side. It will be 4 is equal to 20 times 21 minus p over 39 plus p. So it would be 1 by 5, that is equal to 21 minus p over 39 plus p, and then do the cross multiplication. 39 plus p is equal to 105 minus 5p. So it is 6p is equal to 105 minus 39. It is 66. So p would be equal to 11. This is the way in which we can also solve it for the unknown value. Is this clear to all of you? Like finding the mean by the 3 different methods, and by when the data is given in the form of class interval, finding the unknown value also, whether it is of frequency or of the x value. Same concept is there, same calculation is there. Any difficulty? Any doubt? Tamenglong, Shillong, Itanagar, Sisipur. So now you have to practice this. Practice as much question as you can on this, the mean from your book itself. And then in the next class we will learn how to calculate the median and mode for the class interval type of data. Okay. So that's all for today. Then we'll meet in the next class. And please do practice these questions. Take care of the calculation. That is very important over here. So make sure you do at least 4 questions on this mean before the next class, so that there will be no problem in calculation type questions. Okay? Okay then. Bye.